Good morning. I'm Ginny, and this is my pal Jelly Belly, who loves to be read to. Do you guys like to be read to? Today, I'm going to read a chapter from Uncle Wiggily's Adventures, and I wanted to tell you something about the man who wrote these stories. He wrote his first story about Uncle Wiggily, who is a very sophisticated rabbit who walks on hind legs and has lovely clothes. Anyway, he wrote his first story and sent it to a newspaper in New Jersey. And then he started writing them every day for the newspaper, and eventually they went into books. Anyway, he ended up, listen to this, writing one story every day for 50 years. Can you imagine? Can you imagine doing something that you love, something each day? Even for a week, that would be a big deal, I think. Anyway, so here's the first story. It's called Uncle Wiggily's Adventures. Story 1, Uncle Wiggily Starts Off. Uncle Wiggily Longears, the nice old gentleman rabbit, hopped out of bed one morning to go to the window to see if the sun were shining. But no sooner had he stepped on the floor than he cried out, "Ouch, ouch, oh dear me, and a potato pancake. Oh, I believe I stepped on a tack. Sammy Littletail must have left it there. How careless of him." You see, this was the same Uncle Wiggily of whom I have told you before, the very same Uncle Wiggily. He was an uncle to Sammy and Susie Littletail, the rabbit children, and also to Billy and Johnny Bushytail, the squirrel boys, and to Alice and Lulu and Jimmy Wibblewobble, the duck children. Well, when Uncle Wiggily felt that sharp pain, he stood still for a moment and wondered what could have happened. I think I'm going to change his voice to make it a little lower. So here's Uncle Wiggily now. "Yes, I'm almost sure it was a tack," he said. "I must pick it up so no one else will step on it." Has that ever happened to you guys? Ouch, sounds dreadful. So Uncle Wiggily looked on the floor, but there was no tack there. Only some crumbs from a sugar cookie that Susie Littletail had been eating the night before. "Oh, I know what it was. It must have been my rheumatism that gave me the pain," said the old gentleman rabbit as he looked for his red, white, and blue crutch, striped like a barber pole. He found it under the bed, and then he limped to the window. Sure enough, the sun was shining. "I'll certainly have to do something about this rheumatism," said Uncle Wiggily as he carefully shaved himself. "I guess I'll see Dr. Possum." So, after breakfast, when Sammy and Susie had gone to school, Dr. Possum was telephoned for, and he called to see Uncle Wiggily. "Ha! Exclaimed the doctor, looking very wise. "You have rheumatism very badly, Mr. Longears." "Why, I knew that before you came," said the old gentleman rabbit, blinking his eyes. "What I want is something to cure it." "Ha! Said Dr. Possum again, looking very wise. "I think you need a change of air. You must travel about, go on a journey, get out and see strange birds and pick the pretty flowers. You don't get enough exercise." "Exercise enough?" cried Uncle Wiggily. "Why, my goodness me sakes alive and a bunch of lilacs! Don't I play checkers almost every night with Grandfather Goosey Gander?" "That is not enough," said the doctor. "You must travel here and there and see things." "Very well," said Uncle Wiggily. "Then I will travel. I'll pack my valise," that's suitcase, "at once, and I'll go off and seek my fortune, and maybe on the way I can lose this rheumatism." So, the next day, Uncle Wiggily started out with his crutch and his valise, you remember what that is, suitcase, packed full of clean clothes, excuse me, and something in it to eat. "Oh, we are very sorry to have you go, dear uncle," said Susie Littletail. Excuse me. "But we hope you'll come back well and strong." "Thank you," said Uncle Wiggily as he kissed the two rabbit children. Then off the old gentleman bunny hopped with his crutch. Well, he went along for quite a distance, over the hills and down the road and through the woods. As the sun got higher and warmer, his rheumatism did feel better. "I do believe Dr. Possum was right," said Uncle Wiggily. "Traveling is just the thing for me." And he felt so very jolly that he whistled a little tune about a peanut wagon, which roasted lemonade and boiled and frizzled Easter eggs that Mrs. Cluck Cluck laid. That sounds a little crazy, doesn't it? "Ha! Where are you going?" suddenly asked a voice as Uncle Wiggily finished the tune. "I'm going to seek my fortune," replied Uncle Wiggily. "Who are you, pray?" "Oh, I'm a friend of yours," said the voice, and Uncle Wiggily looked all around, but he could discover no one. Who do you think it was? "But where are you?" the puzzled old gentleman rabbit wanted to know. "I can't see you." "No, and for a very good reason," answered the voice. "You see, I have very weak eyes, and if I came out in the sun without my smoked glasses on, I might go blind. So I have to hide down in this hollow stump." "Then put your glasses on and come out where I can see you," invited the old gentleman rabbit. All the while he was trying to remember where he had heard that voice before. At first he thought it might be Grandfather Goosey Gander or Uncle Butter the goat, yet it didn't exactly sound like either of them. "I have sent my glasses to the store to be fixed, so I can't wear them and come out," went on the voice. "But if you are seeking your fortune, I know the very place where you can find it." "Where?" asked Uncle Wiggily eagerly. "Right down in this hollow stump," was the reply. "There are all kinds of fortunes here, and you may take any kind you like, Mr. Longears." What do you think? It's hard to figure out exactly what's happening here, huh? "Ha! That is very nice," thought the rabbit. "I have not had to travel far before finding my fortune. I wonder if there is a cure for rheumatism in that stump too." So he asked about it. "Of course, your rheumatism can be cured in here," came the quick answer. "In fact, I guarantee to cure any disease, measles, chickenpox, mumps, and even toothache. So if you have any friends you want cured, send them to me." "I wish I could find out who you were," spoke the rabbit. "I seem to know your voice, but I can't think of your name." "Oh, you'll know me as soon as you see me," said the voice. "Just hop down inside this hollow stump, and your fortune is as good as made, and your rheumatism will soon be gone. Hop right down." Well, Uncle Wiggily didn't like the looks of the black hole down inside the stump. He peered into it to see what he could see, but it was so black that all he could make out was something like a lump of coal. "Well, Dr. Possum said I needed to have a change of scene and some adventures," said the rabbit. "So I guess I'll chance it. I'll go down, and perhaps I may find my fortune." Then, carefully holding his crutch and his valise, suitcase, Uncle Wiggily hopped down inside the stump. He felt something soft, furry, and fuzzy pressing close to him. At first he thought he had bumped into Dotty or Willie Lambkin. But then, all of a sudden, a harsh voice cried out, "Ha! Now I have you. I was just wishing someone would come along with my dinner, and you did. Get in here and see if you can find your fortune, Uncle Wiggily." And with that, a big black bear, who had been hiding in the stump, pushed Uncle Wiggily into a dark closet and locked the door. And there the poor rabbit was, and the bear was getting ready to have him for dinner. But don't worry, I'll find a way to get Uncle Wiggily out. And in case we have ice cream pancakes for supper with strawberry jam pudding sauce, I'll tell you in the next story how Uncle Wiggily got out of the bear's den and went fishing. Stay tuned.